Yes, now everybody, I hope you've got your snow beers ready because it is the second part of China we are going to, Kyle. I don't know why I'm laughing so much. Shanghai E-Prix. Are you excited for the early start again?
Yeah, let's say yeah. It's one of those where I think it's worth getting up. It's a hard one, isn't it, for us in the European region to enjoy the whole of what China has to offer in Formula E with the race time that it is. But yeah, I think this track's super racy. I'm looking forward to Shanghai. It's we had a good one last year. We had a wet one last year, and we also had a close finish. And I think if this and it seems like it's going to be similar, stormy and sunny, I think is what the prediction is. High temperatures, angry weather, I guess is the best thing we can say for it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be really good fun. Obviously, we've just come from Sanya. That was 2 weeks ago from the race weekend. And I thought that was incredible. The Sanya was a fun day out, I would say. It was a Gen 2 era track, bringing the Gen 3s. Did it work? Oh, I don't know, but it was definitely fun to watch. What's your race analysis, Cole?
Yeah, it was chaos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Insane, I said. It was, yeah, it had everything. It had, lead changes, red flags, car parks, carbon fibre crunching.
That hairpin.
It had everything. And penalties.
Yes.
Post-race penalties.
Which some of the drivers weren't happy about, were they?
No, I was fuming.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because I was supporting Drugovich.
Yeah.
Not that he was in my prediction, but I imagine I put him second again just for the lols, and he did.
And it was insane. It was a shame for him, but also he's showing that he's performing. And I put on my notes here that the rookies are really impressive. Come Monaco, I think they've just learnt the cars, they've learnt the system, and they've really stepped up. And I'm really excited to see what they can do next year because they're no longer going to be rookies, and I think they're going to be pretty good midfield fighters. And I said, this is an advertisement for Formula 2. You guys might not get your dream of Formula 1, but don't let it die. Single-seaters are everywhere, and Formula E is a fantastic category. It's got 2 British YouTubers here talking about them on a prediction show. Why would you not want to come to Formula E? So yeah, the scores on the doors, you'd be very happy, Court. 65 to me, 79 to you. And interestingly, just like the top 4, we scored points, but I didn't claw anything back because you scored 4 and I scored 4, which is a shocking result. But also, it just means that your lead is still the same as last time, which, going on that, it's going to be hard. There's not many rounds. There's only 2 rounds after this left for me to score points. And if I'm only scoring 4 and you've got a massive point swing, it's not looking good. So today is an important day, I think, for the current lap predictions championship. While we are talking about championship, the fan zone, Dominic Barden, 2nd win now. Well done. Honestly, you did really well. Obviously, over the single header, you've capitalised on it, and he might take Taylor, who's on 4 wins, for a run for his money to the end of the season. So, and I don't think Taylor even predicted. So Dominic, this is your time to catch Taylor while he's napping. These are the rules of the championship, obviously, or the way we score points. Let us know in the comment section below. Put the pinned comment with your decisions in and join in because it's we really want to just engage with the fans. Obviously, Shanghai, it's a shorter layout to what we run in Formula 1. Exciting circuit, as you mentioned, Corey. It's an early start, isn't it? So
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add before we get into the predictions, Core, or should we get straight into it?
I think I got lucky last week with my Dennis prediction, P1, finishing P1. I think, it was a bit of a shocker. But we're going to make some bold calls again this week, Kyle. Yeah. This is the strategy, because I don't want to run too far ahead, but I also want to win. It's a bit weird. I want to make these prediction videos somewhat of a fight, and I'm not just, picking names.
Mortara ruined my season, hasn't he? He's ruined my season.
Yeah, that Edo Mortara double pole has ruined
that was it. You got those points and you ran away.
And my Drugovich call was just insane as well. So, yeah, I've gone for a bit of a bold one this time. Not the usual top 3 and not the usual, energized and dual entry people. I never get the name of that.
Next season, we promise we'll have a name for what we call that. Shall we get into that, whatever phase of the qualifying it is? So with 4th, because I get to start, which is it's always fun. I've gone for Pepe Marti because I think, as I mentioned in the introduction, the rookies are doing fantastic. And I think Pepe Marti, I just think he's got good one-lap pace. So I'm going to go for Pepe Marti. I don't really have anything else to say than I think I want to back him for this Shanghai weekend. Yeah. So that's my fourth.
Well, he was absolutely incredible from that red flag onwards, wasn't he, in the... Shanghai E-Prix, getting himself a podium. That was mega, absolutely mega. So yeah, he's in great form. He's putting Tictum to shame, really. I mean, I really wish Dan Tictum had some, if not any, luck go his way. But but Marty, he's been ever since he's been flipping good. Kyle, you see what I did there?
that is good.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, it's a very good call. I was going to say I don't disagree, but yeah. Annoyingly, that's exactly who I had for P4, Kyle. So I'm going to have to switch it up. So in this instance, I'm going for Norman Nato in P4 in the Jules, whatever we're going to call it. We need to think of a name for it because we always butcher it. But yes, I've got Norman Nato. Reasons now. 1, I feel like I never pick him for anything other than depleted. And 2, I think it's time for him to prove a point.
Yeah.
And he was unfortunate last week in Sanya getting clipped by Verline. So I feel that it's Nato's time to show his face. So I've picked him because you forced my hand in a way as well. So yeah, Norman Nato is my P4.
Yeah, and it's a good choice because I've got the stats from our prediction thing here, and he has been in the duels 4 times before, and I think he does have good race pace. I think he's had a very unfortunate, not a Norman or a normal Nato season. That's a terrible joke, but we obviously want to see him come into Gen 4. What was that?
Just retire.
I hope you're talking about me and not Norman Nato.
Yes, I'm talking about you. I don't want another person swinging for me in the paddock, Kyle.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But I think he's had a really unfortunate season, and I do think he'll stay. I feel like Nissan are going to be loyal to him, so I think we'll see him in Gen 4. But I think he needs to give a reason to back I don't think he's got Norman Nato haters, but there'll be some that say, he's not put in a Nissan sort of level of performance that he should have if you compare him to Muller in the Porsche, which I believe they're on the same level in terms of the car and spec and experience. I think actually Norman is more experienced. So, but yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, to see him in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, just as a recap for the rules, Corey can't pick the drivers that I've picked. Once we pick them in the double headers, we can't. So that's why Corey couldn't have Pepe Marti. So, but that's the joys. I get to go first. And now I get to tell you my third. And I have gone for championship leader Mitch Evans. I feel like if he needs to keep that lead, he's going to have to put the results in. And I think this week could go Evans' way and really give him... He's got one hand on the championship. Well, Evans, if you score well, you're going to have 2. And I think going with 2 hands on that championship into Tokyo and into London is what our boy Mitch Evans needs. So...
yeah. It's a good pick. I mean, I don't have him, so I can actually say my pick this time. I've gone for a bit of an obscure one. I've picked him in the qualifying duels a few times, and I don't think it's ever worked. But I've gone for Jean-Eric Vergne. And the reason is, about 5 minutes before we started recording this, I looked at last year's results, and he was fairly up there in the DS Penske. So I've thrown Vergne in there. Simply just for that reason, and I thought I'd make use of the time I spent on researching last year's race. So I've thrown Vergne in there. So must be decent.
He's another one that's a bit like Norman Nato, who's just not had the season. Now, obviously, he changed from DS to Citroen, but actually, I think he got an upgrade. I don't think he got a downgrade. And obviously, there's going to be a few software changes and things. But yeah, I think the rookies have made massive progress, and they've never been in Formula E before. So, you're expecting now to start seeing some of the bedding in phase to be done. But yeah, not Norman Nato, even though I can say the same thing for him, Jean-Eric Vergne, they just need a good, decent result just to remind us who they are. Obviously, Vergne's a world champion, so he should be knocking on the points door, but he's just, I think, been unfortunate When I think of Vern, I think of the crash in Madrid that happened, kind of like when he got pushed off wide. So, and it's the same with Norman Nato with Pascal last race out. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see who you've got in second, because that's the sort of list of unlucky drivers that I feel like you've picked. For my second, I've gone for Pascal Wehrlein, because where's he been? Like we scored him a 6.0 in our ratings video, and that is an awful score for a Pascal Wehrlein over the last 5 rounds. So he is going to be hungry for the championship. I still think it's well on for him, so let's get him into the duels. I think he has scored on our duels. He's had 7 duel appearances before, so he's a strong candidate.
Yeah, he is. And to continue what you're saying, I've gone for his teammate in second. I've gone Nico Muller. So basically what you said, I mean, he's been the ultimate rear gunner, like I said in the ratings video. He's done very well in that second Porsche seat that was relinquished by Da Costa. He's been cracking. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You know, he has been great. So I've put him in second just because I'm just confident in him, I suppose. And he deserves to be up there. So I've picked Nico Muller.
He's got 1 lap pace as well. He's been in the duels 5 times.
Yeah.
So again, it's a good one for him, and yeah, I think second is a good place to put him. For my first, I don't know whether this is a bold call. I just think that this week I've got to see some results from a certain team. So I've gone for Taylor Barnard, because he was quick in the McLaren here last year as he was on the podium, and I just think he needs something to get him some points, and I think starting at the front, that's a good way to start an E-Prix, and it's certainly a good way to finish it if you can. I think Taylor Barnard's quick. Again, I don't think he's gelled as much with the DS Penske like he did the McLaren, but that's who I'm going for. I think we're going to see some interesting results, so mine is Taylor Barnard.
Nice. I have gone for a bit of a different approach. I said I was going to do some boldness. I feel like this one isn't too bold, but he's been walking up the mountain, and he's tripped over, but I think he'll be all right. It's Oliver Rowland. It's just he's looked good, hasn't he? And he was just unfortunate in that Shanghai E-Prix where he binned it in the wall. But I think he's still technically. I mean, you can't say he's in form because he's binned it in the wall, but like I still think he's got that confidence to bring himself back into the fight. So, in order to remain in the fight, he ought to qualify well. So I've put him at P1 in the qualifying.
It's interesting because I like that Roland owned his incident. He knew that he'd made the error. And I think, to be honest, we talk about like drivers having sort of an error in every season. If that's Oliver Rowland's error, then that's good. That means he's going to be quick to the end of the season. And I've said that he's the scary one because all of a sudden he just turns it up. There's an interesting statistic about Oliver Rowland. He's only ever scored points when he's on the podium at this point in the season. So, and I said in race week, my recommendation to Oliver Rowland is you don't have to be on the podium to score some points, mate. You know, 2 fourths is better than a DNF and a I guess a third maybe. I don't know off the top of my head, but you know what I mean. Like you can take some points without having a trophy is what I was going to say. So it has been interesting. I'm not sure how many he's been in. I see if I can see how many times he's been in the duels. Oh, he's been in 5 times, so very similar to Nico Muller. So someone who who's had opportunities in the past. So obviously it's your pole position. So who do you think is going to lead into turn 1?
Do you know, I wrote down... Right, I'll go with who I wrote down. But I've thought about changing it, but I'm going to stick with it. I've gone Nico Muller, so I'm sort of double down in a way.
Yeah.
I've gone Nico Muller. I just think he's got another pole in him this season.
Yeah.
And I think Porsche need a bit of retribution because they haven't had too many good results recently, and I think they need to start at the front soon. So I've gone for Nico Muller this time.
It's a good shout, yeah. I think a double down is definitely good. I think Muller has that. Well, the Porsche is a good package overall, isn't it? So I can't I know who I'm going to say, but again, it is really just pulling out of like just thin air with this race. I think knowing how close the grid is. For my pole position, I've gone for Felipe Drugovich because it was hot in Sanya, and it's meant to be hot this weekend, and we know that the Andretti likes a bit of heat. So I'm going on the fact that he's fired up, and I think if it's really humid and that Andretti performs like it did before, then this is a great opportunity for Felipe Drugovich to get on the pole position. So, and it does feel a bit like of a bold claim, but actually I'm starting to see a lot of the drivers. There's like 12 brilliant drivers that we could pick out of this for pole position, and I think Felipe Drugovich is one of those 12. So, I mean, they're probably all well enough to get on pole position, but, you know, you got to go with some of the gut feelings, and I would say he's there for that. So, yeah, I mean, if you can say it and it works, why won't it work for me?
Energized, Kyle.
Yes.
Who are you thinking is going to be, you know, straight out the blocks and
see? I've got two
having their snow beers.
Yeah, we always have two, and it's two of the unfortunate drivers. But do you know what? I put him in first for the duels. I'm going to go for Taylor Barnard because again, I think he looked quick here last year, and I think he's looked quick, and I think he's just not had. He's not had the opportunity at the front, so I just feel like Taylor Barnard is going to be annoyed that he's not showing Taylor Barnard quality. So there we go. He's going to be an energised driver.
My energised, I've gone for, again, similarly to you, I've gone for someone in my qualifying dual selections. I've gone for Norman Nato.
He was the second one I had down.
Yeah, I've gone for Norman Nato because I just feel like he can't go a whole season with having a bit of a, you know, rubbish weekend every single time, you know what I mean? So I feel like he's just got to have a good weekend at some point. And with it being a double header, I'm hoping it'll be one of these two. I mean, I know all the remaining races are double headers, but I don't think he's going to leave it lastminute.com. I think he's going to go for it soonish. And obviously his championship position is not where he would expect himself to be. So I've gone for Norman Nato as my energised. And to be honest, I hope he is energised this weekend.
Yeah, that's funny that I put he was my second one down because I was like, I need to think of someone who I want to perform pretty well. And I think he did really well last year. Watching the highlights, he was on that fight for second position. There was like 8 of them trying to get for second position in the last 2 corners. So, and he was one of them. I think he was the one that cut across the grass, and I think he went into the back of Roland actually in that whole like scourge to the finish. But yeah, I don't want you to score points, but I also want Norman Nato to know that we want him to cross that line first. So they're going to do really well. Who's going to do really bad, Cor? Who's your depleted?
I've gone for the guy that you always say is really, really quick. And I just don't buy it this time.
You've been
so
missold.
I've gone for Sebastian Buemi. Envision have kind of just been nowhere. Well, I feel like they've not had any airtime on TV because they're just nowhere.
Yeah.
So I just feel like they've peaked this season, and I feel like they're kind of dropping down a bit. So I've gone for it was either Buemi or Ericsson, and it was literally a toss of a coin who I picked. I picked Buemi, but yeah, I think either Envision will probably I was predicting that either Envision or both Envisions would struggle. So, just based off the fact that they've not really been anywhere too, you know, important in the race. So, yeah, I've just gone for Buemi in this instance.
Yeah, I think that you were completely right about Envision. They've kind of just like, yeah, I'd say the peaked is probably a good word. They were Buemi was definitely like showing that he was, well, actually even Ericsson in Miami. There was, they looked like front runners, but at the moment they just seem to be just sort of like enjoying being like 7th in the constructors. Like, you know, they're all down the bottom when actually that Jaguar powertrain is pretty quick. For my depleted, I'm doing this because I'm looking at the championship now. The top 6 theoretically are still in contention, and I think this weekend we're going to see them drop out of it. And I've gone for my own, Antonio Felix da Costa, because I feel like for Mitch to win, he's going to need to be that rear gunner like for Muller is to Pascal. And I think that, I think he's a team player, but I just feel like while Da Costa's still in the fight, it's not going to happen. So I think we're going to lose someone from the top 6 fighting in for the wins. And I think if he has a bad weekend, he'll be out of it and it will be not possible for him to win. So it's already difficult. So I feel like that's what I'm going on. I'm starting to look at this statistically more than the gut feeling now. So I'm going for Antonio Felix da Costa.
Fair enough. I didn't think I'd ever see you pick him for a depleted driver.
Yeah, contractually I can't.
In all honesty. So then, Kyle, who are we going for the podium? Who's going first out of me and you?
It's me. I get 3rd position.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not happy with the podium I've picked, but again, I'm now starting to think about my own championship than the actual Formula E championship. So I've gone for Mitch Evans. I feel like he's going to need some results. I said in race week, he's got to outscore the top 6 to keep that lead. He's only got to score at once each time, so if he beats them once, then surely he's going to hold on to that lead. So I feel like he's going to be on the podium at some point. So Mitch Evans.
Nice one. I'm gonna back for my P3. I'm gonna back Nico Muller. I just think he's got it's. I don't know what it is, Kyle. I just have an inkling. And I just think Nico Muller's just going to show his face in the midst of this big championship battle. He's just going to show his face. So, yeah, there's nothing really else to say about it, really. I just think it's going to be a good one for him this weekend.
He's going to be rubbing his hands because some of the outrageous calls you've had have come true. So he's going to be sitting there and he's going to be like, right, I'm going to show Corey that I will put it on the podium.
Yeah, well, just wait until you hear my first place. They'll be rubbing their hands. But yeah, anyway, P2. It's me again, isn't it? P2.
It's you for this one.
Yeah, I've got Nick de Vries. Again, similarly to Muller, I think he's just going to show his face while his teammate Mortara's trying to win a title. I think de Vries is just going to appear. He's picked up a bit, hasn't he, since the start of the season? I mean, he was dreadful, wasn't he, the first few races? But he's really picked up, and he's showing the real Nick de Vries, I feel like. I mean, let's not forget he's a world champion. So I've picked him for P2 in Shanghai. So
yeah, I think that's good. I think you're right though. I think we slandered Nick de Vries at the very beginning of the season because he wasn't performing, and I think some of it wasn't to his own. But like he is probably one of the better drivers on the grid. Obviously, he's had a win this season, and he's been on the podium now a couple of times. So we are starting to see that champion come back. But like, he should be up there with Pascal Wehrlein because they're probably similar levels. Or they should be. So it is an interesting one. For my second, I've gone for the beast from Barnsley. That is Oliver Rowland. Again, I think he was really unlucky last race. So I think that it's for him to have this. I think he's going to be pretty quick. I think he knows that he's in second position. Is he second in the championship? Yeah, he is. So I think he's got that opportunity to break those points down between him and Mitch Evans. He is someone who's a lone wolf, I guess the wolf, the beast, I think he's pretty good on his own. He's not had that rear gunner that the other two have had in the championship. So yeah, Oliver Rowland, quite an independent man. He's going to be all right. So
so who have you got to win then, Kyle? Who are you putting your poker chips on, or like your roulette chips? Who's
really
the wheel's spinning right now of all the Formula E
though.
drivers' faces. Yeah. I'm hoping you can create a graphic here where you've got a roulette wheel of all the faces of the drivers.
Thanks for a good 6 hours of editing.
Yeah.
All right, well,
let's the ball landing for you.
Spin the wheel then and see where it lands on. That ball is going to land in a red slot, and it's going to be Edo Mortara, because I am backing him till he gets a win, and how has it not happened already? Like, if it is roulette, then it should be equal chances, and Mortara has had a fantastic season. I want him to be a champion, and I just hope he can do it in season 12, because this is the last one before we go to Gen 4. I want to see it. So I am going for Edo Mortara.
All right, so I said the person who I've chosen will be rubbing his hands, hoping it will come true. You've kind of mentioned him already, saying he was strong, and I've gone Taylor Barnard. I just think it's going to be a shock. There's going to be a shock, something or other this weekend. There's something shocking is going to happen where no one's going to expect it. And the shocking thing to happen this weekend will be Corey picking Barnard to win the race. So I've gone for him. I could have picked Gunther and been on, all the Gunther hype again. But I've tried that once already and it didn't work. So I'm trying his teammate. But also, he was strong, like you said, last year in the McLaren Formula E team. So, and he's in a DS Penske, which also was strong there last year. So, bang the two together and you've got a Grand Prix winner there. So, that's who I've chosen.
It is pity points time. I know the drill. I don't know. Do you want to?
You intro? Go first, Kyle.
Do you want to intro it in?
Kyle, we need a graphic where there's like the pity points round, and it's just like who's it going to land on today, and it's your face every time.
On me. I'm not doing that to myself. I'll be just crying in the editing suite. For my pity points. For my winning team is what it officially is, but we call it the pity points because whoever's last out of me and Corey goes first. For the last 7 rounds, it's been me. And I'm going for Mahindra because I've been on quite a few of the live shows on the FE Zone channel. There's a lot of talk about Mahindra still being quite strong. They've seen the package they've had has looked so consistent across the season. They look fast in testing. They've been pretty quick in most races. Mortara's been consistently not in first, but everywhere else he's scored pretty well. And I think Nick de Vries is waking up. He's like, yes, I'm a world champion. I forgot. And I mean, he was good in the Le Mans as well. Was it Le Mans or the 24-hour endurance? So he's really having a good time in racing. And I think them pair alone, I want to see what you want to see, and that's a Mahindra win. So I've gone for Mahindra.
Yeah. Now, I simply for me would be just to pick who I've picked in P1, which would be DS Penske in this case. And then I thought, okay, I'll go with who I've got in P2, which annoyingly is Mahindra. So I'm going to throw a curveball in Corey's prediction, crystal ballness. And I'm going to throw a random team in there that doesn't relate to anything I've said earlier, just in case my prediction goes wrong. So in this case, my winning team is Cupra Kiro. I am throwing them in there. I feel like neither of us have said Cupra Kiro for the pity points round. So, but I feel like every other team has been mentioned, apart from the obvious.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Cupra Kiro just because it is the pity points round. So if I lose it, it doesn't matter. It's the pity points. They're for you, not for me. So I'm going for Cupra Kiro just in case my predictions are horrendous.
Yes.
That is basically my thought process for that. So, I can't have a week where all my points are basically just Dennis winning the race and that was it. So I'm going to throw some point. It's like the £1 million drop. I feel like my prediction's here, and then you put like a few bits of money over this side, and that's what I've done. So I put some money on Cupra Kiro.
Yes, it's going to be such an interesting race weekend, I think. Because I think we are now getting into those final stages where every point is going to start to matter. And as I mentioned with the Da Costa call for depleted driver, I think, this could be the weekend we see Da Costa's fight end. Same with Dennis, but I don't want to pop his balloon. I think he's... I've got a bit of a sweet spot for Jake Dennis, even Andretti. I mean, we love all the drivers. We say this plenty of times across the series. And seeing one just come out of nowhere and get reminded of, whoa, Season 9 world champion, just popping off in qualifying and sort of going, Drugovich, follow me and we'll get on the front row of the grid. And then to see him put in a performance where even us, the commentary team, everyone was like, well, Dennis has missed his opportunity. I think even Jack from Formula E's Own was saying, well, he statistically can't win it anymore because his pit boost is done. He was doing all the counting, I think it was. And then, Jake was like, no, mate, I'm not listening to any of you guys. I'm just going to do what Jake Dennis does best and somehow win a Shanghai E-Prix. So yeah,
comfortably as well. I mean, when I say comfortably, he put it on pole and converted it. So
yeah,
you know,
and had the red flag as well. I thought once that red flag come out, it was like, oh, this race is. Well, look at Marty. We talked about it in our prediction, our result. What is it? Driver ratings,
ratings.
The season ratings. Yeah. And Pepe Marti didn't have a rear wing. He went to the hardware store, got some duct tape, and then there you go. It's on the podium. So it's that. That's what I'm looking forward to for the Shanghai is who's going to drop out of that top 6. And I'm not sure Pascal will. I think he just needs to reboot. Turn it on, turn it off again, and bam, we're going to have purple on the podium. Who else?
Recalibrate the Germinator. Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
And whether Mortara now needs to accept that he's not going to win a race, but as long as he gets second or third, I don't know. Mitch is like he's had it. I think he's had it really good, hasn't he? And Oliver Rowland is the same. He's just.
Well, Dennis got 28 points last weekend from the pole, and all it takes is someone to do that.
So, do you still think it's game on then? Do you I
still think it's game on. I really do. I mean, unless Evans pole and wins it, then it's going to be a bit of a stretch for any of the other guys.
Yeah.
But I think all it takes is, I mean, even Dennis, if he gets another pole and a win, he's going to be up there, isn't he? I mean, I haven't looked at
Muller a lot this episode, which Muller is just outside the top 6. So if those results come in for Muller over those 2 race weekends, you are looking that he's going to be 3rd or 4th in the championship.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, I think it's still wide open for me.
Yeah.
All it takes is an Evans DNF and all the other 5 to be the top 5, and you're right. You're right together.
Well, Sanya was that proof in the pudding, wasn't it? Because Sanya was that was the race. Because I thought it was weird being a single header. I don't think they're as impactful on the championship, and they clearly aren't. But Sanya was just like, you know what? Why don't we do a race without the top 4 and everyone else has a bit of fun? Because that's kind of how I viewed it as. I don't think that'll be a format that'll ever come to Formula E where they go, right, in single headers, you guys can't compete. Imagine that. But it was interesting. And obviously, this is the final bit of China. Then we're going to go to Tokyo, which is, I said in my video that it wasn't a racy track, but I remember it it was last season. And it was like 6 fighting for first place, so actually that's going to be another good one. It's just a night race, so it's interesting. And then London, where we're going to see it, hopefully, trophy be lifted. That's Saturday night. Can't sleep in the hotel room because we want to know who's going to win the championship. So could have gone anywhere, that sentence, couldn't it?
Yeah, I was going to butt in, but then I thought, no, never interrupt a guy that's going wrong. You know what
I mean? Yes, but that's it. Prediction shows. We've only got 2 more to go after this. We've enjoyed every moment of it. We've enjoyed everyone getting involved in the championship. These are the rules again, just in case you're pondering over who to put into your predictions. I'm looking forward to this one. It's probably going to be very warm for the drivers again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much what I'm going to probably end up watching on demand.
Yeah.
But I will watch the whole race. Both races.
Should we do the same again? Because I got up and watched the race, and then I called you, and you were like...
you called me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's on."
Yeah, so I said, "Oh, if you quickly go onto it and press watch play from the start, it's theoretically live." So, but trying to not tell you about Pepe Marti and Drugovic was like, it's so hard when I was like, "Oh, it's a good one, but you can't give any clues, no spoilers."
I remember answering you going. I remember. You rang me and said, "Oh, you should watch the E-Prix, like watch from the start, blah 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 blah." And I said, "Well, I hope Dennis wins."
And I just thought,
and I bet you were there like.
I was like, "Oh no, yeah, it's a good one, Cor." Boop, boop, boop. So, but anyways, that's our show. Obviously, we're looking forward to seeing what you guys do. Get involved, obviously. Is there anything else you want to say, Cor? Or are you just going to end the video for us as you always do?
I'm just looking forward to filming these when it's not boiling outside.
Yeah.
Because I'm sweating again. Like
we've done
the season ratings one as well.
Yeah, that one was a fun one.
If you're wondering why I'm so shiny, it's because I'm just boiling. And like I said in the I can't remember what video it was, but the harsh lighting, I have to shut the windows and the blinds because the lighting is awful.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll show that next episode, Carl. I'll be like, this is what like the lighting looks like if I don't look like I'm in pitch black every time.
Well, we're going to start somewhere, haven't we? So, and we'll improve. Yeah. I'm starting to think about Gen 4 and how we go and approach that, because we had the calendar and some of those, like we do this almost a week in advance. That's not going to be possible. So there will be some changes to this show come Gen 4.
Yeah. But in terms of anything else to say, no, not really. I'm just looking forward to the race. Yeah. I hope everyone's well. Leave your comments for your predictions, as we've mentioned. If you like the video, then leave a like if you want. And yeah, is that it?
Yeah,
is that everything you needed me to
say? I guess, as I normally say, my name is Kyle. This is Corey. We are the Current Lap YouTube channel, and Corey likes to throw to the outro.
Yeah, and here it is.